On February 11th, we are going to witness the greatest fight of all time. On one side, Islam Makhachev. On the other, Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
To say Herb might jump in. Yeah. That's it.
And still the best featherweight in the world. Make it 21 in a row.
Both are champions in their respective divisions, and both are crazy dominant. Number 1 and number 2 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. You are all probably aware of the things I just mentioned, since those are the facts. But you're also probably wondering, how is this the greatest fight of all time if it didn't even happen yet?
The lightweight on the line, pound for pound number 1 on the line. Let's do it.
There were numerous greatest fights of all time over the years.
Wow, how good is this?
None of those fights were called the greatest before the actual match, but after, which makes sense. But I'm not talking about the actual quality of the fight itself, but the quality of the fighters involved. Islam versus Volkanovski, in terms of actual skill, are the best 2 fighters locked in a cage we ever saw, arguably. This fight is historic from the start. This is the first time that we'll see the number 1 and the number 2 pound-for-pound guy going at it. Islam Makhachev is mostly known for his wrestling and his grappling. A longtime friend and training partner of Khabib showed us time after time that those Russians are just different when it comes to the mat.
Nothing against Charles Oliveira, but Islam on another level.
Yeah.
Just people have to understand.
However, Islam's approach to fighting is much different from the previous lightweight champion. While Khabib is far more aggressive and wild, Islam keeps it steady. He's waiting for his chance to counter while also being defensively responsible, just studying the opponent until he's ready to strike and deal some damage. That countering style also works fluidly with his wrestling. He doesn't rush into anything, but instead he plays it safe, and then when the opponent gets into the comfort zone, Islam quickly closes the distance, and the next thing you know, he's holding you down on the ground with no way to escape. He knows this is not where you want to be, slowly adding more and more pressure until you have nothing left. With each second, likeliness that you are getting finished is getting higher. So when you combine the calculated pressure, incredible cardio and endurance, fighting intelligence, out-of-this-world wrestling and grappling, and a stand-up game that puzzles all of the previously mentioned together, you get an unbeatable fighter. Alexander the Great Volkanovski. If I could describe him with one word, it would simply be machine. The man doesn't stop, and he doesn't get tired. Considering the volume he puts on people and the nature of his style, that should be impossible. From the start, he is imposing his style and rhythm with his long jab, never-ending feints, and quick leg kicks. If you try to do the same, he will step back and smack you with the 1-2. His stand-up game is almost perfect. Volkanovski's wrestling is also high level. His grappling is good for control, but he rarely tries to submit opponents. But it's not his wrestling or his grappling that makes him dangerous on the mat, but his explosiveness. His willingness to get out of bad positions, and his sheer dedication to put you in an even worse position.
Oh my goodness, that is tight. He's gonna go for the arm. Oh yeah!
I don't think many, if any, other fighters are capable of doing that. So, near-perfect stand-up game, incredibly durable chin, possibly the best cardio in the organization. Amazing wrestling, explosiveness, and his will to win makes him one of the most dangerous fighters ever. But we forgot about his most important asset. He's the smartest fighter ever. If you watch his fight with Chad and then his fight with Aldo, you would see that he improved in every single aspect of the sport. If you do the same with the second and the third Holloway fight, again, he improved so much you would think he trained for years before ending the trilogy. He did it in 7 months. With every single fight, that man is understanding the sport more and more. He always brings something new, but something that works. He implements it into his game like he practiced it for his whole career. Again, I truly think that with this fight, we'll witness the highest possible level of skill ever in a UFC octagon at the same time. And even though there is a clear favorite in Islam, I don't think this will be as one-sided as many people think. When you put 2 nearly perfect fighters against each other, you are getting a masterclass from both sides. So let's just sit back and enjoy the show. The show being the greatest fight of all time.